Smash the 1 minute long ad break. Maybe like 10 seconds, bruh. Okay. So let's get started. So we're gonna start with the Helldivers 2 AMA once I'm certain that everything is functional. Oh, dude, I fucking forgot to get chat ready. Should I get some music prepared? We're listening to Dead Island. They're playing Dead Island 1. Let's get the Dead Island soundtrack. To music. I get music. Good background music. Not the Dead Island trailer theme. Does it not have like a proper OST? Island OST. Full OST. It's a 1 hour long video. What the fuck? Dude, they just have like a nice like menu track. That's all I wanted. Okay. Do I have music? Tracks, right? Or the Half-Life 2 soundtrack. Frostpunk. You can listen to the Deep Rock Galactic soundtrack. So today, topics. I'll try. I've just been tired lately. I'm back to stream. Having a video going for a little bit. Oh, wrong thing. Ah, it's Fish Tank, the show about lifting up weirdos. So today we're gonna be covering the Helldivers 2 conundrum that happened with the CEO or CCO's AMA, and covering a little bit of that. Repsion is alleging that Onision is suing him again. If I remember right, this is like the 4th or 5th time that this has happened. And then we have a little side drama, very small side drama today, with the twins from Fish Tank, who may have been scammed. And we'll go through it. It's totally not done yet. So we will have to see what happens with that. All right. I tried to get back into Helldivers recently. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite games, especially because it's a live service. So I wanted to go through some of this AMA stuff. But basically, I'm bitter because I wrote a review of Helldivers 2, and then they had a major patch that fixed a ton of stuff. And then they ruined it again since then. And that was December. That's been like not even, I guess just over a full 4 months. So this is Pilestat. This is essentially, from what I remember, one of the main creators of Arrowhead as a whole. He became the CEO for a while, and then became the CO, so he went from Chief Economic to Chief Creative Officer. However, he's not actually working on Helldivers 2 anymore. He moved on to essentially Helldivers 3. Now, Helldivers has had a lot of drama lately because the repeating "it's so over, we're so back" stuff that's been happening. So I wanted to talk about it because I tried it again, and it is very much a we're so over. And I have some examples later on. But one of the biggest ones, this is on Helldivers Unfiltered, which is the one Helldivers, well, it's one of like 3, but it's the largest that's not moderated by Arrowhead. And so I think it's very telling that the CCO, the guy who's in charge of creating things and making sure things are going in a good direction game design-wise, has to post on an unmoderated Reddit. Like, he is very worried that they're only getting the good side of info and not everyone's, whether it's accurate or not. Hi everyone, feels like there's so much hate, misinformation, and disappointment here. So he's opening up pretty strong misinformation. Is there a Mr. information I know about? So if we actually go to their Reddit, what misinformation is there really? This is rough now because we had the AMA, what, 3 days ago? 2 days ago now? But I'm really not seeing that much misinformation. It's mostly memes or like, this sucks or whatever. Maybe this one, 25 pages worth of undocumented changes, but there are definitely a shitload of undocumented changes. Uninstalled. I exploded. I hate giving specifics. Can't say more. You sweet summer child, but really many of you players want it. Ass. And so this... Oh, did it break? Reddit broke. Hello? Alright, this browser page broke. There's a lot of people uninstalling. Wait, what? Dude. Fucking Brave just broke. One sec. Task manager, you might have to... Dude, if I lose everything I just prepared, that would suck balls. It just completely froze. Restore? You got a kick in Twitch and the YouTube I was watching. We're back. Gamers, we're back. So yeah, essentially lots of issues. This is one of the biggest ones that I've had a problem with because I like sentries. They put out like a crazy buff to automatons that just destroys this. It makes like a strategy completely unviable against them now, which is fine if they told us what the fuck they were doing. I mean, I don't even completely agree that that's fine because they don't explain what they're doing, partly. But it's like, sentries are one of the best options because they have anti-tank. And now they're just like, shit, they shouldn't have been 50%. I could see 33 at most. So that's it, Firewire. Hi everyone. Thank you. This is after, so we'll read that after. I want, actually I want all, and I want to sort by top. Oh, it's already there, okay. All right. So generally, Helldivers has had like a very bad reputation lately within the community. Well, it's been 50-50 because there has been like a huge community divide between, this is their terms, glaze divers and cry divers. Just so cringe, but whatever, it gets the points across. Glaze divers really like the game and aren't willing to criticize it, or don't think that it needs to be criticized in the first place. While cry divers criticize what they think is wrong with the game, Or, and the second part is the hyperbolized version. They criticize everything, even if it's perfectly fine. So let's get into it. Is there a reason that balance patches to the less used stuff are so few and far between? And we have some examples. It feels like stuff that gets forgotten until the community makes an effort to complain about it, like burning effects, stealth suppressors, and the mechs are supposedly getting buffed. Meanwhile, some old weapons and stratagems that are barely used and would be fine with just number tweaks, not even full reworks, but it rarely happens. There is an issue with this. Oh, you know what? I should zoom in. The text is way too small. The problem with this is that it's not that these are forgotten about and people complained about it. It's these got buffed right before or with Warbond releases. So the burning effect was fixed because they released a flamethrower. Suppressors were fixed, and by the way, they did have an interview where they said that suppressors were totally fine, but they were fixed later. Because they had the same, like, with the way that hearing works for the AI in the game, suppressors could be detected from the same exact range that a normal weapon could. And now mechs are also supposedly getting buffed. By the way, mechs are like, I don't want to say they're at a good point right now, but they're actually not that far away. They're paper thin armor, but the firepower they bring is nice, but extremely short duration because of their armor and because of their ammo. Meanwhile, old weapons and stratagems barely used would be fine with number tweaks. That is pretty true. Not even full rework. And he gives some examples. And then he, I don't care. File stat. A bit too big for me. Is that readable? That's readable. It's a result of a game that's too big, too many variable scenarios and potential outcomes. This is the path we went down in balance before release, where we started balancing weapons not onto a generic core themselves, but also against individual foes. This is a bad idea for a multitude of reasons. The first one, that you have 3 very different factions. I won't say, well, mostly different factions. Not only that, but they now have sub-factions, and then you also outsource the design of these enemies to other companies who are, for the most part, uncredited within Helldivers 2. There are some examples. I believe what are they called? The overseers for the Illuminate, or 1 or 2 versions of them, are outsourced to a different third-party company. And, well, those are the models. That's not necessarily the game design from what I remember. But I think the cyborgs were third-party completely. It's supposed to be an immersive experience with rules that players get to explore. Well, that's not fun when it feels like every enemy or every faction and sub-faction has a different set of rules. That can work, but on the scale that Helldivers is, where it promotes a generic system because nothing is explained to you, this sucks. And so you have to experiment, but you also have to risk $10 for a war bond. We're up to about what, 350 now? Dollars for a war bond, or for the game plus all the war bonds. If you wanted to really experiment with the rules and experience in the game. So if you're hopping in now, this is terrible. This is a very like late game oriented thing when people have a ton of shit unlocked, but most people don't have everything unlocked. I think he says something contrary to that later on, but I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see. But to get the game into a fun state, we late decided to balance the game, and this has continued since and is now the expectation of the community. Well, you chose it, the community likes it, cool. The unfortunate truth here is that it is way too complex to balance first the team size and tools that we have. This is totally untrue. I have no belief that this is true. Because there's two sides of balance. You have the player-oriented and then the enemy-oriented. And then to a very small tertiary degree, you have like the actual environmental effects happening, like lava or moonstorm, or asteroids, whatever. That can kind of change the balance. Or orbital effects. So, as far as the player side goes, these are very much just number tweaks. Now, there are some things that I think they programmed into the game that would make it a little tougher. So, for example, weapons have calibers that do different things, and that affects how much damage they do. They also have flat damage changes to weapons that aren't reliant on the caliber or the type of weapon. So, yeah, this sucks. On the enemy-oriented side, that could be true, but you vaguely know how much health players have. You vaguely know... Well, okay, you know exactly how much health players have depending on what armors they have, because it goes from 50 to 100. There's your health. You know, basically, the amount of speeds they can have, which again, go from 50 to, I think, 200 with the next war bond. And you know all the combinations of that. So you can make enemies that track that. And by the way, it's been 2 years since the game released, and like 4 or 5 years since the game started development. Assuming it was made like a year prior to release or even 6 months, this should not be that hard, and not versus the team size, unless he's saying that it's not because we have enough people, it's because we have too many people. With the tools you have, I just don't believe that. I'm a programmer. You make the tools. Good designers, good programmers make things. Great programmers make the tools to make those things. The designers are working their asses off, doing their best to achieve that balance. Disagree. I really disagree, especially with the durable damage stuff. That is ass. We could hire more. Balance is also a one-man game. The fewer we are, the easier it is. More people don't help. Unfortunately, our QA doesn't catch these issues, and when they do, they aren't prioritized enough. That sounds like your problem. That doesn't sound like it's unfortunate. It's unlucky that this happened. I can't believe that chance would leave this to happen. Well, I guess when they don't catch these issues, but unfortunately they aren't prioritized high enough, yeah, that's your fault. That is Helldiver 2's Arrowhead's fault. In addition to the balance issue, it would be really nice if you guys told us durable damage. It would also be really nice if you removed durable damage from the game and just had flat health and armor, and that's it. That would be really nice. The durable system sucks. Because it went from a system where everything is explained to you. Well, okay. You had all the numbers in front of you, but you didn't have the formulas, like how much damage does this do to this type of armor? How much damage does this do whenever it can technically penetrate the armor, or matches the armor, but can't penetrate it? You don't have like the numbers for that, but you know, hey, if my gun can penetrate light armor, the enemy has light armor, and I'm using the Liberator, it does 65 damage. You don't know at all what durable does and doesn't take away unless you have the fucking wiki up right next to you and the enemy that is data mined at the time of patch. We've been moving hard as of late to achieve operational excellence, which means to deliver great builds without bugs on time. Weren't the last 2 war bonds delayed? And isn't this warbond kind of supposed to be in the middle of 2 months, so you don't have to release another one in May? And aren't the builds all kind of failing? And aren't there bugs released in every single new patch? I don't think, unless you mean as of late, as in the future, then I don't think this is true. We believe this will in the long run free us up time to be better at balancing. I don't understand this, by the way. So is he just saying that the Helldivers team is like bloated and retarded? That's what it comes across as. Well, retarded because of it, not that an individual person is. These are all like very smart people. They're just weirdly antagonistic. Being in Helldivers feels like being in Hellhouse Fish Tank, or what I imagine it's like. I know this doesn't address the specifics, and I actually wouldn't know. This is the specific in team. This is specific to the teams. They try their hardest working around the challenging situations they are in. J? Clarity on how people balancing doesn't solve the holistic challenge. I don't know what that means. I might be stupid. I'll just be fair. I don't know what this means. In my mind, the perfect balancing team is you probably have 3 or 4 people on the Helldiver side, and maybe double that amount on the enemy side. You might have 2 or 3 people per faction, and then they fight each other on paper with numbers, and then they see how it does. I don't know, dude. As an amateur game dev myself, I really don't know how I would handle this best, but it's obvious that they aren't handling it very well. We could hire more of a balance as a one-man game. We can clarify what you mean by added clarity, but 100 devs balancing together doesn't make it better. We tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas. That is definitely what it feels like. Sounds like nothing has changed since launch, because I recall the mantra. True. Helldivers is filled with the not very unique weapons. True. Where's the next post? Hi. There are multiple plans and discussions about improving existing systems for progression, weapon customization, and the democratic space station. Unfortunately, we've been pushing hard to meet what we see as the expectation on content for each new big update, which unfortunately means the team is forced to down-prioritize what we already have in favor of novelty. Well, that's the thing, right? More progression means more novelty. More weapon customization means more novelty. And the DSS actually being useful and fun, or either of those, is novelty. They keep pushing out new armors and new weapons that kind of suck, or maybe change the meta forever, like the Coyote. But without that, well, even with that, it's just taking away from all the existing stuff. It's pushing next warbond, next warbond, next warbond, buy the next warbond, buy the next warbond. It's kind of what happened with Hunt Showdown, where after a while, every new weapon that was included just sucked. Except for one in a while, which is, alright, well, everybody's buying this now, unless you had a very specific strategy. To a degree, it kind of happened with Tarkov, but it wasn't nearly as bad. I think we could be better at looking at improving systems for those of you who are super excited, but there's a smaller percent of users than those who are still retained by the mid-game. So, I'm trying to figure out what he's saying here. It sounds like there's a bunch of, let's say, sub 100 hour players who are like sub level 20 or sub level 40, and then they are, I don't even know what the mid game means, by the way, because the game is the same. You run like a few missions against each faction and you've played the game. Now you can try new weapons and try new strategies, but it's very sandboxy, where you have a bunch of different tools to bring into the sandbox and play around with different factions, different toys. And so what does it mean by mid-game? What is a mid-gamer? Somebody who hasn't bought every single warbond? What if you're like me? You've completed level 10 difficulties twice, twice, but a bunch of level 9s and level 8s, shitloads even, with friends. But am I a mid-gamer? Or is it about your, like, literal ongoing investment? The early game could be like a level 100 who only puts in like an hour once a week, and he just buys the new war bond every time. I don't know what this means. I don't know what a mid-game is in relation to Helldivers. I and the team are passionate about the hardcore players. This is untrue. I think Pilestat is, which is why he's on Helldivers Unfiltered. I don't think the rest of the team is. We are always forced to down prioritize it due to other things going on. I'm assuming that's Sony. No. Sony gets a lot of blame. The only thing I could think of is that Sony might have economic or monetary requirement for them to provide every month. But I don't really see. Here's the thing, right? If they threw a bone to the hardcore players, I could understand this. I don't see that they have. They've put in like meme strategies, which is probably the closest thing, like the super sledgehammer, but I'm not seeing this passion for the hardcore players. The have not answer, I'm aware. We are constantly navigating this, and we take so much input from the community, data, and internal feedback. Please let us know if you need more or less of an answer. Is he replying to these and it's not showing, or are these just randos? So will we see community-driven events again? We are working on creating more interesting dynamic between the community and what the GMs do. GMs, so there's more than just Joel. In a perfect world, we would have an articulated rule set that allows fair play between enemy forces, and where you guys could surprise us in many ways, and we are working towards this. And over the next years, you have more power in the Galactic War. As rightly pointed out that I didn't answer the first question, yes, there will be rewards for events in the Galactic War. We haven't made any decision to stop doing it. It just hasn't been priority. Same as we've done in the past. When? I don't know. Over the next years. So here's Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. He's probably, I think he is the largest Helldivers 2 creator at the moment. And he gives this whole giant paragraph describing a bunch of issues and whatever. Let's just read the question. These are basically detailing the issues that lead into the question. Will Arrowhead commit to delaying the Exo Experts Warbond, pulling the mechs out and restructuring to be in the line with what majority of players are wanting? Which, by the way, seems to be, from what I've heard, although I am very one-sided in the community, the majority of what I've heard has been that people want customizable mechs. And people are fine if they put people are fine if they put like weapons or legs or whatever the kind of customization for mechs into warbonds. That's okay. The problem is that in the warbonds, if you're unaware, every single mech is individualized, and so for the foreseeable future, every single mech is going to have its own command line that you need to type in to get it whenever you're in a battle. And every single arm combination is going to be different, which just sucks cock and balls. Armored vehicles belong in major orders and used as rewards for going ham against a faction. Will you hand down to the team a directive to stop at the fixes/solutions being sold to us through paid content? By the way, I mentioned this earlier. Fire was heavily nerfed into the ground. First, it had a fix that was genuine, but it made fire kind of suck. And then fire was nerfed further later on. And then it was buffed again for a single fire weapon in a warbond. So it gets broken / fixed. That should have quotes around it. And then the solution is sort of sold. I mean, all fire weapons get buffed, but it's definitely prioritizing the one in the warbond. And finally, is there any feedback or solutions you would take from a player or players that could initiate a pause in the current direction of content? Want to help you and in turn help ourselves, but we don't populate the normal echo chamber salt like the low sodium channels. There's a ton of highly experienced players out here in the unfiltered channels that love the game. We're expressing ourselves, but in many cases, that feedback falls on what is perceived as deaf ears. I appreciate that you've stepped out of the normal avenues to meet us in our area. This is true. A lot of the experienced people, it's not that they don't want to be in the low sodium areas. A lot of them just get kicked out or are banned. I've seen that with Thick Filet. And by the way, they actually did this. This sounds weird. Like, why would a company stop working on a thing to accept player feedback? But the entire point of Helldivers 2 originally was that they were like super supportive of having a community. It was a two-way street. We help the community helps us. And if we fuck up, we really want the community to tell us and we'll fix it. And they have greatly divided the community with the salt divers and the glaze divers or whatever the fuck. Hi, this is a great posting question, so much to digest. I want to address the points you made about Warbond and balance fixes. I think this is a consequence of when we do push for a Warbond, we review all the issues associated with balancing. Remember when we did a nerf to fire just in time for a Warbond release with fire-based weapons? That really hit us hard. We sort of said that whenever a Warbond is released, we really need to ensure that the items in it and the associated mechanics are up to scratch. I mean, yeah, they always should be, but, you know. I don't know if they took a hit, but he can't provide the numbers, so whatever. So this in turn has us really hone in on the theme of a Warbond. So if we are working on a stealth Warbond, we make sure that we focus testing and balancing on stealth fixes and balancing. But you guys said that they weren't fixes. You guys said that suppressors were working fine. This is very left hand, doesn't know what the right hand is doing. I'm assuming that at the moment with Helldivers 3, Pilestat doesn't really have much to do, so he's coming back to check in on Helldivers 2, and it's just like a fire. But he hasn't seen the fire. He just smells the smoke from outside the building. And everybody has to tell him, hey, there's a fire. And he's like, my friends would never cause a fire. It's like, no, they left the oven on and started smoking cigarettes next to full oxygen tanks. In a perfect world, this would be disconnected, but we also have learned that it doesn't work when it's in the spotlight. It will, reasonably so, create disappointment. Point taken, we'll discuss with the team. No, we will not pull the mechs from the Warbond. We still grind to purchase each Warbond, and we see that the data most do. This is not really part of the question. I mean, it's fine for it to be in the Warbond if it was just modifications of the existing mech. So I'm assuming that this is a miscommunication because Pilestat does not really know the Helldivers 2 community. And I feel like Buzz Lightyear would have been better if he literally just elaborated right here on what most people want. Because Pilestat is just ignorant of what people want. Our rule is that we shouldn't have things that are necessary to play in the Warbonds that neither of the mechs are. Well, that depends. Do the mechs get majorly buffed? Because if that's true, they might be for difficulty 10. I mean, it depends on skill level. There are people who can beat the fucking difficulty 10 with, like, the Liberator and whatever. You know, I actually haven't seen that. I've been saying that skill will make up for that, but I actually have not seen anybody beat difficulty 10 with a Liberator. I'll discuss this with the team and see what approach to take. If this comes down solving to a core issue, rather than limiting what kinds of perk and content is released and ensuring there are ways around it. Disagree. This is wrong. I think this AMA has opened my eyes, and that was my hope, to the grievances that you have. I understand that behind harsh criticism, name calling, and other things, there is frustration stemming from the love of the game. And that feeling is that it is being mismanaged. The reason why I wanted to do this AMA was that I was so frustrated. Oh, so Pilestat is also having problems with Arrowhead. That's good to know. It really hurts seeing a project born out of love for players, creating the belief that we are at Arrowhead are more focused on value extraction than on making the best game possible. I think my biggest takeaway here is that there are so many valuable points, but since much of it is worded so harshly, there are so many conspiracies. For example, that a team of 130 plus in Stockholm has abandoned the game. The subreddit is discounted as being too fringe. But engaging with you all, I hope proves that it's just hardcore players with a lot of frustration. It's a weird sentence. Maybe that's like a message towards his team that these are all hardcore players and not just chuds who hate them. And then somewhere in here, I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. This is exactly what I've been looking for. I think this is Buzz Lightyear's like Discord mod or something. Has maintained a Google Doc full to the brim. Full to the brim of active bugs. And it literally goes on for, I think, like, what, like 800? No, 300. Some of these have been fixed, most of them have not been. And he says, we need to be better at finding this info. Holy fuck, how did you guys find all this? That is great. I think a lot of times we reinvent the wheel, figuratively speaking, in terms of what issues to solve. This guy literally sent it to your team who acknowledged it. Look into why your team didn't pass it on or do anything with it. I didn't know that, actually. Oh, there's Zendesk. Okay, that's fair, though. Their Zendesk really, like, fucked up. WireMax in the War Bunch. Why do fixes that directly affect gameplay and the enjoyability of the game, like flesh mob clipping, take so long to be applied, whereas fixes for harmless bugs or inventive solutions to problems are patched almost immediately? And he says that those are basically easier to fix. Which, don't. Those are features, not bugs. Do not fix those. It's literally fucking, Borderlands pre-sequel. It's not a bug, it's a feature. This is just Odo ranting at Pilestat. How much is weapon customization going? I'll read it. Why are devs adamant on making it the game they want, not the one that players deserve? Players fell in love with the horde shooter that we've seen through the past 2 years, how improving upon aspects of the game make for a better experience. For some reasons, more of a priority is to make enemies less fun to engage with, remove creative solutions players find, abandon weapons, leave them in a state of quote-unquote viability, but not more, all the while wondering why players are so hateful. Again, this is talking at the marketing team. It's not really, well, not this part, but a lot of this stuff. This is for Shams, who I am actually convinced is, like, retarded. Like, he's obviously a very smart person when it comes to money and whatever. When it comes to talking to the community, he is, like, no Rizless. Is weapon customization going to be expanded? Yes, but it's not a priority. Do you think the system for earning super credits is well balanced? No. Does Arrowhead notice the community feedback that it has a list of bugs and suggestions? They're planning to do something. Also, does Arrowhead notice the amount of censored information on the main sub in Discord? Will there be improvements on the problem? And he says, thank you, this is a great reference. Does not answer the second question. Not allowed to. And I believe that... Oh, here we go. Here's a list of things. We plan on doing anything about it. Great questions. A lot of specifics I don't have, unfortunately, as the team is now so large. Tech debt, operational excellence, and release quality is our top priority. Wow, they've been failing at that. Big surprise. Tech debt. Dude, I don't know. It's a live service game, so it's really hard to say. Dude, I'd almost say forget about it at this point. I thought Nick Studios also fixed the tech debt problem. I thought Nick Studios came in and fucking solved a shitload of problems with spawning things, and that's how they're able to have that Mindless Masses sub-faction with like hundreds of zombies on the map at a time. Operational excellence and release quality is our priority, blah, blah, blah. I agree fixing the multitude of bugs is key. Some have been in the game for way too long. It's not high priority, though. Expansion on weapon and armor customization will be improved and expanded in the future, but first we need to resolve the debt that we have and keep releasing updates to the game. Or improving, yeah. So it's basically... Warbond token as a level reward is an interesting idea. I'll run it by the team. I would say, like, every Well, there's so many war bonds now, and if they continue to add them, if they do keep it limited, I would say maybe every like 30 to 40 levels, 30 to 50 levels, gives a war bond token. Because at this point, why do you even pay for Helldivers? And I believe there are a couple more things that get answered, but I'm not sure where they are. Answer like 4 questions. Took a break. It's 48 hours. Alright. I want to thank everyone for taking time to challenge me and share your frustration. I did this AMA because I saw the disappointment, criticism, and mistrust in the subreddit, and it got to me. I wanted to get a better sense and understanding of what was the heart of it, but a lot of the points I make are fair. But here's my takeaway. You want older systems to become deeper, and the Galactic War needs more attention. You want meaningful reasons to keep playing and buy the next war bond. You want underused equipment to have a purpose, long-term progression to feel worthwhile, and community actions to result in memorable moments again. Concerns that war bonds can feel like they are moving faster than fixes, polish, and systemic improvements, which is not the intent, but perception matters. Wait, what? Concerns that war bonds can feel. I guess he's just acknowledging that. It's not the intent, but perception matters. Trust is not rebuilt by me saying that, yeah, sometime in the future. It is by action alone. Over time, that clearly says we are listening and acting in good faith. Which I guess is the acknowledgement that he understands that the perception is that they're not acting in good faith, which is kind of funny. This week, I'll talk to the direction team about how we can align more with expectations that you have on the development of Helldivers. You want us to communicate better? Accurate patch notes. Please, God, have real patch notes. Transparency around priorities. I don't think we're getting that. More accurate known issues. Community already keeps track of that, but endorsing someone who does keep track of that would be okay. Be better if it was someone in the team. And less reliance on someone random from Arrowhead jumping on to ask questions. When our communication fails, you guys fill in the blanks, and right now many of those blanks are being filled with mistrust, and that's on us. At least he acknowledges that it's on them. It's not really on the players, I don't think. Because it feels like every time the players ask for something, like patch notes that are real and not lying to them. Or like, what is the one with the current siege tank that it has a head, but the head is not a weak point? Weird. That's literally like a deception, a visual deception for monkey brains. Action, I report back once every other week, starting this week, with where we are, what our thoughts are, and how we are moving forward. You better, I really hope he keeps up with this. I can't promise every specific request in this thread. I can't promise instant solutions. Helldivers 2 is a large, complicated game, and some of these issues are genuinely difficult. It's not an excuse for standing still. It's a lot of work that's in progress, and we will see the fruit of it in coming weeks, months, and years. This conversation has helped me understand your frustration a whole lot better. Good job. No, I was kind of mean, but overall, I do agree. I think this was a good thing for Pilestat to come here. People are mad that he's misinformed and doesn't know what's happening at the studio that he's running, but he's on a different team. He's not here. He's not working on Helldivers 2 every single day. And overall, I think this is if Mr. Pilestat can keep up with this is a good change. It's just that Shams has lied to us so much. The devs seem schizophrenic with their changes. And the patch notes and the community managers, and it feels like everyone else at Helldivers hates us, hates the players. They'll say one thing and implement another. And that has happened so consistently that it has made it like impossible to trust these guys. And so one of the issues, I think, with this, and it's due to, one, being Swedish, but two, being a published game, not an owned game, is that, look, I do view a lot of the issues in Helldivers coming down to individuals. Not the team as a whole, not the direction of the game, although that is certainly part of it. It's individuals who are making changes to weapons, making durability changes without testing it first, and adding a whole host of other issues that would not have happened if those individuals were not there. So yeah, with that out of the way, what was this?
Everybody wants to play. And I think I can represent
a live stream with 3 of the larger Helldivers creators. Oh, dude, it didn't save my spot.
Because as well, what would be different? And in the summary, he's like, yo, hype up. And it just seemed like he would.
How long have I been streaming now? Been streaming for 46 minutes. Here's the survey. So these guys are live right now, but I really just wanted to go over this one section.
AMA?
So how do you feel about the AMA?
Not anymore. No.
So your name popping up on stream is the Cubs.
I am in that 14. I didn't vote, but I am
just
in that 14%.
Wanted you to know, boss. Just wanted you to know.
I think things.
He's gonna use me to cover it up. Look at it.
It's gonna be like 6 months before the game is good again. But I think things could change.
Cover me up like that. Now I know why I was invited to the stream. Now I know why I was invited. See that, Clay?
What does my name show up?
I guess I'm really in the mixed feelings category.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
I actually thought it was a good AMA.
Before the second AMA hit the towers. And
Ilestat is extremely misled about things happening.
It was only like 5 hours.
He's having them explained to him.
And 90-60 or
and so things have a real chance for change. I'm just not entirely hopeful.
Everybody was like, at least we tried.
That Ilestat is the guy who changed it because he is in charge of another project and micromanaging 2 projects. If he's even allowed to with Helldivers 2.
I went through all of this, just like, oh my god, bro. Everybody's so...
Would be pretty stressful. It might not be something that he wants to do, and it kind of sucks. I think it's actually kind of funny. This is one of the I don't view these guys as like overly biased a lot of the time. The communities might be, because I don't know how you would get 50% of It's So Over if you did not read, or if you read the AMA. The worst thing that he said is that these changes will take years, and the mechs not being moddable. There are so many bigger issues to deal with, and I feel like he acknowledged them to a degree. If durable damage doesn't change, then I'm just never gonna touch Helldivers 2 again, I guess. It just sucks. I think they need to look at a bunch of things. They could. I really think balance could be fixed within a month. I don't think it's that hard at all. But instead, we have what 58% of people saying that it's a bad AMA. And so people. It's a very like circle jerky kind of community with the Crydivers, where they all put out their opinions and they all make a video covering each other's opinions, and they kind of cycle that with every new piece of news. But they are like fonts of knowledge. They are obsessed with this game. They know like everything Pilestat has ever said. Oh, here's one that I missed. I don't know if it was deleted. Or if I just missed it. Transmog. Transmog has been a thing that the community has been requesting since basically the game came out. If you're not a gamer, it's the idea that you have an armor that has one style, but you like the perk or stats of another armor. And so you want to have one armor that you look at while the effects of the other armor apply. I don't know if Pilestat could, I don't know if Arrowhead could do that because of the tech debt issues, I guess. Wondering if my music has been too loud this entire time. Ship modules, big news in the future. So I'm assuming that the next one will be like a mech-focused set of ship modules, or there's going to be something planned for after that. An end game. This is stupid, I think. Like, why would you ask about an end game? It's a live service. It's intended to go on forever. This is our Achilles heel. So many of you hardcore players want it, but it satisfies a small portion of the player base. We're focusing on the broad effect. This sucks. This does suck. Maybe I missed those questions. Oh, maybe I did. But Thick Filet in not this stream, but the last one or second to last one, covered like the numbers. They're about equal, actually. Let me grab it. Helldivers to Steam charts. SteamDB. Yeah, here we go. So here, at these peaks, these are the big updates, and then the little peaks are typically Warbond releases. And this has been going on for a year. And then you dip below 50k. The pile stat, and I can understand being very angry about this, because these are the guys who are invested. This is their job, right? I can understand them being extremely dissatisfied with this answer. But pile stat is saying that the 35k player trough who is playing the game does not matter nearly as much as that 173,000 player peak. That one time, that one day, that 1 week where things almost hit 200k, that is far more valuable than the cycling of 30 to 40k players that happens when there's no big update. And that's totally correct and fair from a business perspective. These 30k players are just like grinding fucking super credits. They're not contributing anything except for wasting server space. While these people who are coming for the peaks, oh boy, those guys in the update, they're contributing to peak numbers we can show to Sony. They're buying war bonds, and so they're actually literally handing us money. They're advertising to their friends through buying on Steam that, oh, there's this cool new game they're playing. Oh, it's co-op too. That's cool. But I think with the current direction, I mean, you can see from this little mini graph here, it's cycled down, comes up once in a while, down, down, down. And I think if they continue this trajectory, and look, I'll be real, this drastic lowering of having almost like the lowest numbers since escalation, well, not escalation of freedom, what was it called? Into the unjust, into the uninstall. We are nearing that point of into the uninstall. And there's no big update planned. And I think that's part of why Pilestat is like, hey, we kind of have to cater to you guys for a second. Will you be placated if I answer you questions? I think that's what Thick Filet, Play Aesthetics, Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, I think that's what they think is happening. And it's, I don't know, I can see it. I can understand where they're coming from. But, dude, you have, what is it, a quintupling of your player base every couple months. You want that. That's so juicy. That's like another employee. But, yeah. I don't know. I think they have a lot to worry about at Helldivers 2. Alright. Let's cut the music, because we have a video to watch. I actually don't know much about this. I had a friend who said that she was going to show up to talk me through it, and she's not here. Well, she did say she would do that, but I was hoping for more context. But we have Onision is taking me to court again, not clickbait, for copyright infringement. So this is Repsion. I actually thought it was kind of funny from my friends. Essentially, all of my friends at some point used to follow some sort of like person who is vaguely tied to the Skeptosphere from like 2016. And that has come true once again. Because another one of my friends who I thought didn't actually watches Repsion. But yeah, that's from where he comes from. I don't know what he does now. I was looking at Onision. Let me get Onision's page. If you don't know who Onision is, he's the I'm a Banana guy. He's known for being like very gothic and very dramatic. The Onision Adventure 2026 news. My vote. Baby in a bag. Onision plays Resident Evil 9. Stoicism, Nihilism, Taoism, and Hamnet. You can see that he's drastically fallen off from his 2 million subscribers. He's getting not even 10k views a video. He's deleted a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, it looks like he, yeah. So let's watch Repsion's video. And some extra context. Repsion has been sued by Onision like multiple times now. Onision is taking me again to court again, taking me again. The Onision lawsuits from a year ago. Oh, was he not involved in that? He just streamed it. Onision was denied in court 2 months ago. The Onision files. I believe he was just covering Onision and then he tried to get sued. Or he didn't try to get sued, but Onision tried to sue him. Onision took me to court and dismissed himself. Onision's had like a very weird life lately. Well, forever, I guess. Kind of crazy. Probably happens when you get really internet famous. Like Fred. He's like Fred.
Not clickbait. I received an email around 5 o'clock this morning, and let me just show you here directly. Okay.
Ah, it's so bright.
He denied
on
my
dark
copyright
mode,
appeal, and
Saturday, April 11th, and this came out April 13th. Yeah, I'm here kind of late. Dear Repsion, thank you for the counter notification has been forwarded. Thank you for submitting it. As the claimant must provide evidence of legal action.
And when you deny somebody's counter file for a copyright strike, you have to provide proof, like a court order or something legal, to say, hey, this video is not going to be reinstated. So what he did is he filed in the court system, and he paid $40 to do this. Onision did. And now I'm going to small claims court over copyright, and I'm not joking. So I filed a copyright counter notification, which basically says, hey, your copyright strike is wrong. It falls under fair use. And then they have 10 days to counter file that with...
Yep, we all know the copyright system by now.
Received this email with a docket number 26 knows this in the filings. This means that I am going to have to go to court.
Wait, we can actually just find it? Is this real? Copy. Right, claims board 26 CCB 0268. Copy that, so I type it. Start or access a claim. I have to register. Only for official business use? Does this count? Search. Oh, okay, here it is. That seems like the right time. Oh, I didn't know I could just look at that. Okay. That's crazy, bro.
Claims court for $5,000 is what he's claiming. And let's open this and see what it has to say. So here is the filing receipt with all the information provided. So I have this bottom is blurred because it has his address and his emails. But it says,
no way.
Would you like to proceed in smaller claims proceeding, including a $5,000?
Okay, wait. He has like an actual link on there. https://dockets.cc gov/filing/receipt/ 707. I have to log in. Okay. Yeah, the other thing was giving me a blank page, so I assume I have to log in and have like an account ID tied to it.
Monetary limit instead of the standard CBC small claims proceeding. He posted yes. This is a claim for infringement, and
it does tell you their names though.
He filed it was $40 to submit this. So this was very recent in the last couple days.
So by negligence, we now know Onision's name, who totally has not probably like put it out before, right?
Video of the infringement.
No, I think Onision's been on the internet long enough that he's probably made some mistake where he's put out his name before.
Work was Enough is Enough on his YouTube channel right here. Okay. Author Onision has this work been registered by the Copyright Office? No. Service work.
Wait, is that a thing? Enough is enough? Or is that the Reption video? Oh, well, it's not on there anyway, right?
Request number, I don't even know what that means.
The title of the
Type
work
of
that
work,
was infringed
motion
was
picture and audio visual. And look, he actually this gets interesting because describe of work, original audio visual vlog consisting of original spoken narration, original footage, editing, original graphics, original blah blah with limited third-party screenshots and meme incorporated. Claim is limited to claimant's original audio visual. Whatever. Distribute copies of the work, publicly displays the work, publicly performs the work, and reproduces the work. Is the infringement ongoing? Unknown. Infringement dates. That was the date that I uploaded my video.
June 3rd, 2026? We haven't gotten there yet. June 3rd. Oh, it's this video. Alright, well, I'm not gonna watch that.
The alleged infringing occurred on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Is the alleged infringement work exact copy of your entire work? No. So this is where it gets interesting because in this paragraph right here, let's zoom into this. Zoom in.
You gonna read it?
All right. I want you to read this. Claimant, which would be me, has direct knowledge that respondent saw and heard the work because respondent recorded himself actively watching, playing, and reacting to his own live stream. Respondent navigated to claimant's public YouTube channel, identified the video by its exact title, explicitly stated on the record that he was watching the claimant's newest upload, and then the broadcast substantial portions of it to his own audience in real time. Respondent has also acknowledged on the same stream that he has been actively monitoring claimant's public content for the last 15 years.
I mean, if you're like a public figure, if you're uploading videos for 15 years, yeah, you probably have people who watch you for 15 years. If you're as popular as Onision is, the 2 million people, right? So I don't feel like that would matter in like a court of law. Newest upload, I could see that maybe giving some sway to like a jury, but not to like a judge. Who cares? Maybe an issue could be with like the whole thing, but I totally doubt that. Like a judge would not have to know copyright for this to, I think, go through properly.
I actually don't think it's been 15 years. It's been a
I
little
don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
less than that. But
I'm not a lawyer.
okay,
I'm not a
whatever.
lawyer. I'm just saying
Yeah,
everything
I check your channel
lawyership.
from time to time because people send it to me. They're like, "Oh, Daniel, can you? He uploaded this. Do you want to talk about it? You want to respond to it?" Most of the time, I say no.
I don't know. I think a lot of people like to say that we live in like a very settled field because of what happened with like Ethan Klein, and so it's like it's a callback case. You can go back to H3H3 versus whoever. But that's like one case, and it kind of is landmark in a few ways, but I feel like a lot of people just haven't really pursued copyright through YouTube. So it would still be interesting to see what happens with this. But I imagine that Repzion would win if they're using H3H3 as a basis case.
What are the similarities?
Is this true? Is this good terminology as far as like watching another person's video goes? A reproduction? I guess it is because you're trying to imply that it's infringement, right?
The alleged infringing work does not merely contain expressive similar to claimant's work, it incorporates direct literal reproductions of the comment's actual audiovisual content. Respondent played portions of the claimant's actual video file and segment, blah, 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 whatever. Based on YouTube's content ID matching system, the response video matched approximately 56 of the visual content on the reference work across multiple segments with substantial audio matching also observed. These similarities arise from the response for production. First of all, I think he's using AI to write this genuinely.
56%?
But that's okay.
It was like a 4-hour video. Or is he using 56%? Respondent's video, so his video matched 56%. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Whatever. Claimant owns the copyright titled Enough is Enough.
So that's gotta be, I mean, dude, why don't you point that out? He says 56%. You made what? What did he say? Like a 3-hour video?
Blah, 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 blah. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting right here. Without authorization license, blah, 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 he links the video directly. And then it says, scope of the video taking, YouTube's content ID system identified 5 minutes and 38 seconds of matching content from the claimant's 10 minutes work within the respondent's live stream, representing 56% of the visual content. So mind you,
So 56% within 10 minutes. Oh, shit. Let me get a calculator. (10 × 60). 5 × 60 plus 38. Divided by 600 is 0.56%.
my entire live stream was, I think, 2 hours and 50 minutes. It was almost a 3-hour live stream.
But then did you have like a 10-minute section covering them?
But because I responded to 5 minutes, well, actually, in the 5 minutes that I respond to, it's broken up into almost like an hour-long segment. There was like at least a 30 minute, maybe 40 minutes. I don't know how long the segment is because I don't have the video because it was a live stream. It wasn't a.
Do you not multi-stream? Game channel, movie reviews, Twitter, Amazon, Cameo, Instagram, Discord. I have a copy of my live stream. Does anybody have a link?
Upload. So I don't even know the exact amount of time that I discussed and broke down his 5-minute video. But I know I know I broke it up in a bunch of, because the video's 2.5 hours long. But I find this fascinating to me. Representing 56% of the visual content, the content ID further confirms that the match content appears to be in large continuous blocks spanning the full length of the claimant's original work, demonstrating that the respondents broadcast the video extended uninterrupted segments rather than brief isolated clips. The video was not fleeting, it was sustained broadcast with overwhelming the majority of the short.
Okay, so we have some actual shit here, kinda, sorta. YouTube's content ID timeline, so he's not even personally verifying it. I wonder if this is because YouTube's AI, from what I understand, has been going kind of crazy. I've seen some people just kind of like lie about it, but I have seen other people who it does seem genuine that the AI is attacking them, and sending out like random copyright claims or being like, this is just reproduced content. Probably because reactions are so common now, and the AI probably just got tweaked a little bit in the wrong direction. So if the content ID confirms that the match length, that's probably wrong, and Onision probably should have checked that himself. The use was not a fleeting excerpt. I don't know. I feel like, would a lawyer write like that? It was the sustained broadcast of the overwhelming majority of a short original work. That feels like AI, because 56% would not be considered overwhelming. I don't know, but the lawyer might also be trying to convince someone that the fucking case is worth it. I don't know.
Original work.
If there is a lawyer.
If I watched your entire video,
which, look, I'll be real, with the views he's getting, I don't think Onision could afford a lawyer
without stopping it and talking,
unless he's running like one of those secret like third channels that's just posting movie clips and getting millions of views on fucking YouTube shorts and then getting paid just enough for a lawyer.
You would have a point here, but that's not what happened. But I don't even have the original video, so how do I prove that? This is going to be interesting to see how this goes in court. Nature of use. Respondent did not merely discuss or reference claimant's work. Respondent loaded claimant's actual video on file and played directly to his audience.
Wait, respondent loaded the claimant? That you didn't just watch it on YouTube, you downloaded it first?
Portions contain the same original spoken narrative, blah, 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 blah. Respondent was actively...
Let's read that. Same on-camera performance, visual frame. This implies that it's almost like it contain the original same. It says the same, not original, so I don't know. The similarity in the copied portions is not stylistic, it is a direct reproduction. You could just write the original instead of having to clarify later. Whatever. Commercial
solicited and received monetary compensation.
It was conducted for commercial gain. Look, I'll be real. I don't think Repzion's streams are... Actually, how many views does he get on his streams? Yeah, I don't think he gets that much. I feel like if Repzion wanted money, he would. He has almost 1 million fucking subscribers. I don't know. I guess Onision could too, and he's not. Doesn't exactly work out that way. Taking what they can get, essentially. But I think this will hurt because Repzion deliberately like stopped doing YouTube full time. He said he's like a commercial driver or something in his GoFundMe.
From an audience, including a paid tier subscription acknowledged on stream, including a 5-tier subscription accepted during the broadcast, gifted subscriptions, monetary donations. I mean, I'm more than happy to show you how much I made on my video. It was barely anything. I received my first ever tier 5 subscription, which was somebody subscribed to my channel for $100. Which was amazing. I've never had that happen before. That was the first time. But I find it funny that you're mentioning this. So this just proves that you have, well, one, that you watched my video, which is something that you always said that you never watched people's videos. But it's fascinating to me that you have officially confirmed here in this document, in your receipt, that you have watched my content and that you're specifically referencing parts that bother you. Me having a paid tier subscription on my channel 1 through 5 has nothing to do with your video. I could have been live streaming on a different stream and got
Fuck. I heard some.
In the same tier 5 subscription. But this goes to show that it really
Girlfriend's
bothers you
phone
when
fell.
somebody supports me. Because why would you? This has no bearing on.
Courtney, where are you? Courtney, you're supposed to explain all this shit to me. Why this is important or why I should care. I don't know. I mean, it's just this. We don't have the original stream. If we saw the original stream, we could actually do something with this. But this is just like this is very funny in a way, out of how chaotic it is.
My commentary of your content. Willful or knowing conduct. Respondents' own statements with the infringing live stream established the use was deliberate over the respondent stating, and quote, this was me, over 15 years of copyright strikes, everyone has been reinstated. That's true. Every single one. You just counterfile it twice and it gets restored, demonstrating the full awareness of the copyright enforcement process and a deliberate strategy to circumvent
Yeah, that's not a good response when you're dealing with legal stuff. What the fuck are you thinking, Repsion?
it. Are you stupid, dude? It's not circumventing it. That's not what circumventing is. YouTube gives you the option to counterfile, which you would do, and the video gets restored. That's not circumventing it.
Well, that's also true. That is literally just the system. That is not circumventing the system. That is the system.
That's how the DMCA process works on YouTube. Now, here we are in April 13th, 2026, right? This is the first time you actually filed a court or a legal document in the court about your video. There's never been any circumventing because that's how the process of DMCA works on you.
Here's what I would do if I was Repsion. I would download all of Onision's videos, feed it into an AI, and then tell me what video do I make. Give me a video idea out of this, and then make it, and then upload it. And then when everyone's confused, you'll look at Onision's channel and find a few days later, he uploaded the same thing because he's also using AI to make his videos. And then you sue him for copyright infringement for like $2.
YouTube. Somebody files a DMCA, you counterfile it a second time when they deny it, and the video gets restored. I have done this with thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, not specifically to you, because that's how the DMCA process works. And every video over the course of my entire time on YouTube, my entire life on YouTube,
Didn't
has
YouTube
been
used to tell you
restored.
how many videos somebody
This
has?
right here, what you're doing is the first time this has ever happened. No one knows.
It actually was thousands. It actually is 1.7 thousand. Holy shit.
Company, no other YouTuber, nobody ever has filed a actual legal notice against me for copyright. So congratulations, Gregory, James, Onision. This is the first time I've ever dealt with this, and I'm happy to deal with it because this is new, and I think that you will lose in court if this goes to small claims. I'm hoping that you just drop this because I created a GoFundMe, first link down below, because I have a lawyer. My lawyer is Jeff Admin. You can look him up if you want.
Oh, I was actually okay. I was gonna guess that. Wait, what? Okay. I was wondering why the limit was so low, because most of the time when people ask for lawyers, they're asking like for $50,000 to $100,000. He's asking for 2K, so I guess he already has a lawyer, so it's fine. You blank out the names of them. Him looking depressed.
He represented me in my last legal issue, which was received a settlement from. But my lawyer is Jeff Admin. I've already contacted him. If you want to go against Jeff Admin, by all means, that's fine. I just look his name up, Jeff Admin, JEFFADOM, I believe. Look up my lawyer, Greg. I really am asking you just please drop this. Please, I would appreciate that. But if you want to go to small claims court, we will go to small claims court. Okay. I did not infringe your copyright. This is absolutely full fair use what I've done. But let's go back to what I said. You just counterfile it twice and it gets restored, demonstrating the claimant's body of work. Statement attempt. Following the claimant's content ID removals, respondent filed a DMC counter seeking reinstatement of the infringing video. That was me. Claimant files a CCB claim to restrain continued reinstatement on YouTube, specifically identified statement consistent with
YouTube
counter notification policy requiring active legal proceedings to obtain removal. Notice. Transcript evidence for reporting purposes. Claimant solely relies on written transcripts of the response video for all statements attributed to the response of this filing.
Claimant relies solely on written transcripts of respondent's video for all statements attributed. Yeah, because I guess he can't get the video anymore. He forgot to download the video before he copyright struck him.
Claimant remains a copy of his transcripts as supporting evidence which conclude. Any response of the online service? No. Described as how you were harmed. Claimant was responded to This is how you were harmed, brother.
Claimant responds to the video. Claimant uses the video. The work is only 10 minutes long. Respondent uses 56% of the video. As identified, the ID appropriated a substantial portion of the claimant's protected expression in a single protected expression.
So as Onision does, you're playing victim of me simply responding to things that you said in your video. How are you harmed by this, man? I'm literally responding to things that you say on the internet. By broadcast.
By the way, I take back what I said earlier about Onision. I think I said like Repsion said something retarded. I don't know. I feel like if you're dealing with Onision sending you like actual legal threats all the time, you know what? Say whatever the fuck you want. This guy sucks.
Casting this, viewers consume, spoken narration, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is your argument here. Because I replied to you on my small little stream with, I think I had 100 people watching, I am taking engagement.
Oh, sure, but you probably got like 2K
away from the original
2K
upload.
Views?
To control how this work is publicly experienced.
Dude, yeah, I don't even know if there's like... These are on like completely opposite sides of the fucking world right now. You can't take away views from this guy. He doesn't have any to take away.
Respondent immediately enriched himself commercially by soliciting and accepting paid subscriptions and monetary donations from his audience while broadcasting the claim's unpaid created work without authorization. So you have a problem with me live streaming any content.
I think you're literally getting to the point of like... You're literally taking... I'm imagining like a historical scenario where if you had a playwright on the East Coast in 1860 and a man takes it to LA and says, wow, this play fucking sucks. And the guy for the East Coast tries to go after him. It's like, well, no, these people won't even like transport to the other side. They're not willing to make that.
And responding to something on YouTube as a whole.
If anything, this is advertisement for Onision. In case somebody in Repsion's audience suddenly becomes schizo. I was like, I love Onision.
So realistically, that means that if you've ever, which you've done this, Greg, you've responded to people and you used video clips and you've responded to people's videos before. You've used I've seen you on TikTok reply and respond to things using other people's content. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with making money providing social commentary? If I just sat like this for an hour long and watched all your videos, like kind of like Hassan Piker does, you know, that would make sense. But I have
gotta get the Hassan reference in there.
Everything I've done. So
to be fair, I actually not even Hassan's like crew does that anymore. It is literally just Hassan now.
And I can,
but it is just funny.
So if you really want, I'm more than happy to show you how much I made.
Actually, you know what? I can't really accurately say that. I haven't seen anybody get a clip of Hassan doing that. I'm pretty sure he does put up like a fucking away screen now with Kaya.
That video.
I don't know.
It was less than $150 in total. I think I made like $175, $100 donation tier. YouTube takes what, 30% of that, and then through ads, I think I made like 80 or 90. It wasn't a whole lot of money I made off that stream, because I don't stream to a whole lot of people. It was like 100 some people watching my stream, brother. But you know, it's hilarious. This is where you want to go. And I'm happy to go there with you.
And wow.
The infringement also required claimant to expand significant time and effort documenting.
So he took viewership and audience engagement away from the original upload and reduces the claimant's ability to control how his work was publicly experienced. What the fuck? You don't control how your work is publicly experienced. Besides, like, the title, thumbnail, and description. But that's not experiencing it. I wouldn't consider that experiencing it. It's just what the actual AV part of the video is within this square and the headphones or speakers. So I feel like that's wrong, but maybe that's like a legal term, legal thing. I guess it is experiencing it in a different way, but that manipulation is what makes it not copyright infringement. At least in Repzion's case. Respondent simultaneously enriched himself commercially. I mean, that is technically true. It's just not significant. This is literally like, on Onision's part, this is to the point where it's like, I just hate this guy. I just want to take this guy down. It's not even like, I want the money. There is no money to be gained. It's just, fuck this guy. I don't know what Repzion does with the money. I don't know if he has any, but I don't think he does. This just sucks.
Willful nature of the harm. Respondent's conduct was not accidental.
Did you just skip that? The infringement required claimant to expend significant time. Wait, so you're trying to get like damages for time spent?
Willful nature of the harm. Respondent's
That's what it
conduct
sounds
was not
like.
accidental. As self-documented, the infringing broadcast itself. Respondent was fully aware of the copyrighted work without author. Oh my god, dude.
It wasn't an accident. He intended to click on that video.
His deliberate practice approached over 15 years. Well, it hasn't been 15 years. But I know I did say that, so that's fine. This is willful and calculated conduct warrants the maximum damage available under this proceeding.
What?
All right, brother. Let's do this. Claimant's request for monetary...
Dude, Onision needs to... Like, what is... He's suing him for 5K? I would have assumed that this was like, I'm taking down Repzion's channel because I just fucking hate this guy. He's suing him for 5K for $200 profit? I don't know, man. I need to start watching like lawyer shows so I can pretend to have an idea about what's happening.
Leave the maximum of $5,000 together with
that feels like so much for this.
Enough. Request for restraint because respondent has filed account.
They may request an order restraining respondent from reinstating or making the infringing content publicly available here or any other public platform consistent with YouTube.
And that's where we are, guys. That's where we are. So, he's seeking a damage of $5,000 because I did social commentary on a stream of his, and
dude, he looks like such a normal YouTuber, like just an ordinary. I mean, he doesn't look that way, but his room looks like you would find like a normal YouTuber, like in like the Schlatt crew or whatever. And Repzion kind of just looks a little dirty. He's got the piercings. He's got like he's fucking balding. Got like the weird tattoos. Is that a Grogu sticker? What is that? Okay, so he has a Cold One sticker, a Grogu sticker, I think another Cold One sticker. Got a bunch of Pokemon, weird pink lights from his kitchen. Trying to identify anything in his back room, but his camera's also running like 24 FPS.
I'm going to court with him. How this works from here,
Not
I
even
don't know.
24.
But I've contacted my lawyer. My lawyer will be representing me, or it will be somebody else that Jeff admin recommends. I don't because
also, what a weird Pokemon taste. Krabby, Mew, and Charmander.
This, and because this is going to cost money, I have filed a GoFundMe. What you're looking at here is my GoFundMe, because we did this back in what, 2020, and I asked for, I think it was like $2,000 to pay for my legal fees because he took me to court for harassment, even though I've never done that. And we went to court, and then he dismissed it because he realized, oh, I don't actually have a case. So very similarly we dealt with before, I have created a
Beauty.
GoFundMe. If you guys could, so this is what we're doing differently this time. If he dismisses this before it goes to court, I will
Contact info, Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid at blah. I can't even read that. Like a Hotmail account?
refund everybody's donation to this. I have my statement down here. You can read this yourself. I'm not going to read this out loud for you guys. But at the very end, I do make it very clear. I want to make this, if Onision ends up dropping this situation, this legal issue that we're going to go to in the courtroom, I will refund everybody the amount that is donated. But if this goes to court, in small claims court, I have to pay my lawyer. And I work a 9-to-5 job these days. I don't have any interest in doing YouTube as a full-time. I retired as a YouTuber full-time in 2023.
I mean, if you're retired, why do you got a 9-to-5?
But, you know, if he wants to go here, we'll go here. Any support would be very much appreciated. $5, $1, anything would be... Look, we did this before, and I think we can do it again. For $5,000 for responding and criticizing.
Like, Reption's like a fairly honorable dude. He's just weird. He's just kind of weird looking to me. And I think, like, I don't know. I wouldn't do this. Like, he has like gaming, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I mean, I kind of want a gaming channel, just not like a Let's Play channel. But he's like become such a normal, I feel like, internet person. You probably shouldn't be sued for $5,000
on YouTube.
I don't know. You can go to his link if you want. I just don't have that much to say. I'm kind of wondering if I'm missing something, but one of my friends really likes Repsion, so I covered it. Do we watch this video? Dude, he looks completely different here.
Pre-recorded video like
Why are you
this,
muted?
but I had to because we have an update. All right, we have a significant PDF file. KYS yourself.
Oh, did he like try to sue somebody for like, I don't know, whatever. Nice try, Onion Boy. Nice try, Onion Boy. That's funny. I guess he's just going through it. Yeah, okay. I don't know. What does Repsion even do nowadays besides continue to A-log Onision? He did a message to Frogan. He played all of Dispatch. I guess either long played it or fucking whatever. He covered the Emiru stuff. Covered the Mizkif stuff. Dude, the Mizkif turn has been crazy. Because Emiru just, like, talked about it and then never talked about it again. And then Mizkif is like, she's not suing me. I have not received anything. Mizkif is so boring. I hate the Twitch aristocracy so much. Except for Germa. Germa's okay. Gotta pee. Back. All right, sorry. Yeah, dude, I just hate the Twitch aristocracy. Like, all of Ludwig's friends, essentially, they're just so boring. I feel like YouTube doesn't have that. YouTube people rise and fall pretty consistently. Like Repsion. Repsion used to be popular and now he's not. And Onision used to be popular and now he's not. But when you go to Twitch, it's like, bro, are you fucking still telling me that Pokimane is still popular? How the fuck is she still popular? How the hell is like Valkyrae? How does she have any viewers? It is just not for me. And so much of it comes down to like the two things I suspect the most is that they're just friends with Ludwig and Ludwig maintains them and Ludwig is actually a little entertaining. Even if he can't take responsibility for his hedgier things, it's still funny. And he's friends with Germa, and Germa is funny. I don't get like Emaru. I don't get Mizkif. I don't get like half of fucking I don't get like anybody in fucking OTK. You know what? This is stuff I would watch. Is anything happening on Kiwi Farms? I'll go over the twin stuff in a second because there's not much to cover with that. You guys like Fish Tank? I love Fish Tank. Chibi Reviews has doxed one of his own fans. New manifesto. Chibi Reviews claims to fear for his life. Laura Loomer's defamation lawsuit against Bill Maher has been dismissed. Pirate Software's entire team has quit. Okay. No. All right, let us get to the twins. We love the twins here. So, actually, wait. Let's undo that filter. If you don't know the twins, if you guys don't know Fish Tank. So, Fish Tank is the show.
Get tar and feathered again.
Oh, are they covering it? They're watching right now. So, Fish Tank is a show where they basically have a bunch of people in a house and torture them for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Or 4 to 5, I guess, normally. And the twins, who are these two on the bottom right, were very popular. Arguably, they were the most popular on the show. I think Bashir was a contender, and Laura, weirdly enough. So, the twins partnered up with somebody. Actually, where is their store? I don't see their store. They're making things, they're selling stuff. Oh, here it is. Bingo Bongo store. And you can buy things from them. You can hang out with them. They're the first ever double contestant. And this website where you can go buy things. Sure, these commissions are a bit expensive. They have t-shirts, a little more than usual. It's their art. It was created by a person. It was created by, I'm trying to find her name, but it's not Zilla. Zilla is here. I mean, it is Zilla. It's the same person. That might not be a bad starting point. But they go by like Rargzilla and something else. I mean, this kind of sums it up, but let's get to it. Essentially, Douanier, who is another contestant on Fish Tank, hooked up the twins with a person who could make a website. And I'm not sure where the reply is, but essentially this person is getting paid like a percentage of the profits from the shirts, which is a little weird for a website maker, but as an indie person, I don't actually think it's that much. They're getting paid around a third, while the twins together get paid 2/3, and they're like inseparable. And apparently, the controversy comes from someone stirring shit for the sake of it, because the twins do not care. The twins are still promoting the shop. They like the shop, whatever. Apparently, the twins' mom accidentally logged herself out of the shop at some point, and that might have started it. But there's this really weird narrative right now that the twins are getting scammed out of their stuff. And the reason that this is news is because everyone wants to protect the twins because they're a little autistic. So you can see their art. They're very I really like they were probably my favorite contestants. And they're my girlfriend's favorite contestants too. And they very much like soy chags and Homestuck and whatever the fuck. It's very funny. It's very odd. But people are very worried about them getting scammed, and it really seems like people are just trying to stir shit for no reason. I wanted to clarify that because I think Danye has not done a good job of dissuading it. It is kind of making people think that more people that they're getting scammed. He's just backfiring a lot. Which is what he does as a gay man. Let's be real. But yeah. They are not getting scammed from what everyone has been saying, or from what I'm able to see. People are saying that they're getting scammed, but I really can't find it. People are accusing her of stealing all of the twin sales money, but the mom was just like really confused and screaming about it, but she's back in. I've no idea what's really happening behind the scenes because the other person does not seem to have a Twitter account. But it does not seem as if the twins are getting actually scammed. Wanted to throw that out there. No, let's not go to the Dead Island wiki right now. Is that it? I think that's it for tonight. I was considering going over the Chibi review stuff, but I hate talking about pedophiles. Even if he's not one directly, he's within the sphere enough with all the lolicon shit that it's so disgusting that I do not want to talk about it. But I kind of want to talk about it, but I feel like if I talk about it too much, I'll just be sick and never stream again. Or not never stream again, but would not for a while. But there's really not that much going on. It really does feel... It's like why Augie left streaming in the first place. Oh no, god damn it. Dunye's fucking Twitter broke Brave again. It's like I think when Augie left the internet for a while, it was because he felt like every single drama was just about pedophilia over and over and over again. And that's kind of what I feel like was happening now.
Fish fan or what? Yes, I'm a Fish fan, but the sad thing is I couldn't be on Fish Tank season 5.
Oh man.
Not watch randoms call in. 11 things you should never do after uploading a YouTube video. It's kind of the same with Tectone to a degree. Yeah, here's my fucking recommended, guys. Here's what YouTube recommends me. Chrome, you wanna show up? OBS, you wanna show Chrome? Okay, welcome back. Yeah, Shamu did a stream on it. Look, I'll be real. I kind of just like watching other people's stuff more. I don't think I'm a good streamer. A Lily Orchard video by Anthony Gramuglia. Oh, that's what I wanted to cover. The Otterly Noah stuff. Dude, the Otterly Noah guy seems like really fucked up. Like, not his drama. His drama is like very tame compared to most things. That guy strikes me as like a real weirdo. Pauline Ballinger, iNabber. Someone fucked with someone's cow tipping. Dude, Brave broke again. What the hell? I'm on Task Manager. Nothing is fucking up. I thought it was fucking up. Okay, I guess the Lord is telling me to end the stream. I don't know. I guess I can have, what is this? Minion, JPEG, GIF. I'll just keep this on screen so people know that I'm like here. The Tectone stuff feels so played out now. Like it's kind of just the same thing over and over again. And it's funny. Well, actually, he's gone back to being a schizophrenic, which is funny, but I kind of feel like he's kind of become almost like an iDubbbz for people who don't like iDubbbz, except for Tectone is like he is actually schizophrenic and potentially dangerous. Like the judge thought so. The judge, that's why he's not allowed to have a firearm. But it just feels a little bit played out. And that's kind of how a lot of drama feels to me right now. That we're kind of like repeating over and over again. The same things with different people. Although the Chibi review stuff is very funny. I will say that. I do think the Chibi review stuff is hilarious. But with Tectone, it's like, oh, this is what he was doing 4 months ago. With iDubbbz, it's like he's been doing the same thing for like a year straight. I don't really know though. That is kind of interesting, but it's also like, all right, well, once I'm done with that, I have to like kind of hope that there's something that piques my interest at least. I don't even know if I would do that because I don't know if I want to come back. Well, come back to what? Nothing, right? That's just funny. I don't know. I'm meandering. I don't have my zins, dude. All right. Go support Repsion. Verify your facts about Fish Tank or whatever. And maybe I'll be around. We'll see. We'll see if I come back and Courtney tells me like, no, here's what you have to fucking say about Repsion, man. I thought that was supposed to be this whole bit. The bit did not work out. So I'll fucking see you next time. Goodbye. Good night.